Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Night of the Demons. These kids are trying to have a party, raise a little hell, and unfortunately, they did.
Directed by Kevin Tenney, starring Linnea Quigley, Alvin Alexis, Billy Gallo, Cathy Podewell, and Amelia Kinkade. Night of the Demons is about a group of kids who want to have a Halloween party and end up throwing it at a haunted or possessed house.
This house is not haunted, it's possessed.
I would say that they accidentally summoned evil spirits, but they purposefully summoned spirits and turned people into demons, and those demons end up killing their friends. So what do we like? This is a cheesy 80s movie with a paper-thin plot and hilarious characters.
I think this has some of the best one-liners we've heard in a while. You got people calling people buttholes. You've got really tacky threats that are just comedy gold.
Typical! Shut up and drive, bitch!
And being that it's the 80s and this is a horror film, we've got Linnea Quigley in it.
I just want to look good for the boys.
And of course, we see her full frontal. We also have some more TNA from various characters, including Arab from Sleepaway Camp 3.
But this film isn't just laughs and boobs. There's some gore, there's some interesting makeup effects, and some demons we may or may not touch on later on.
And despite how cheesy this movie is, there are some honestly startling moments. There are jump scares that actually scared me. And I hate myself for it. The radio turning on, for example, or somebody just kind of appearing behind somebody, similar to that insidious Darth Maul fella. They did it here first, but it's just Stooge. There's this big guy and I was frightened.
One of the things that's nice about revisiting this film, it has that classic 80s horror film feel to it, and the nostalgic value definitely holds up. I know it looks really cheesy, but I liked the cinematography work, especially when Angela is just roaming the halls. She's just riding on a skateboard, and I know this, but it looks good.
Something cheesy that I liked was Linnea Quigley's boob eating the lipstick. That didn't make any sense, but it was hilarious, and I think it was very well done.
The house that they were in was actually pretty creepy. They did a good job building this atmosphere. They made it eerie, and they made it dark. Despite all the cheese and comedy that was in there, that was a good touch to make that feel like it was a horror movie.
And one of the better things about this film is the fact that you don't know who's going to live and who's going to die. And they made some pretty solid decisions by killing most of the characters that you would think would live and keeping the ones that you think should die first to the end.
It may not look great, but I appreciate the opening credits in this film. It was a little long, but I liked the animation style. It definitely made me feel like it was Halloween. And I like that feeling.
Now let's move on to our dislikes. The biggest issue about this film is it is extremely boring towards the last half of the movie. These kids get to the house fairly quickly, they summon demons, and everybody starts turning into demons. And then we have maybe 2 or 3 characters left for probably 40 minutes of the movie, and they legit just walk around from room to room. It's so damn boring, and I don't know why they did it.
Yeah, they kind of threw everything in the middle of the movie, and then nothing.
Yeah, and then just people aimlessly wandering around the house, looking for an exit, or their friends, or just trying to get laid. I guess that happened at the beginning, so at the beginning we had a lot of people walking around because everybody shows up to the party, and then everybody paired off and started looking for a more private spot to be in the house. That's not a fucking party.
Everyone's intentions were established at the beginning, but they didn't follow through with their intentions. And it's not because demons came about, it's because they all got sidetracked by their hormones. Angela wanted to throw this party to scare some people. And you know what? She didn't even get the chance to do it.
Yeah, they showed up and then they wanted to go bang each other. And half of them didn't even bang each other or bang the person that they went there with the intentions of banging.
Which brings me to a movie decision that I didn't really enjoy. The first person who was possessed in this movie was Linnea Quigley. Yet Angela is our main demon, which to me wouldn't make any sense. Normally it's whoever starts it is the one that controls and empowers everyone. There was no consistency in their demonology.
And in typical 80s fashion, we had a really awkward dance scene. Unfortunately, this time it's not partying teens dancing. It's Angela, Demon Angela, just being fucking weird. And Sal doesn't know what to make of it, but he watches her for a good 5 minutes, just like we had to, and then slowly just like backs out of the room. But this isn't Night of the Dancing. This is Night of the Demons. So let's talk about the demons. They had varying amounts of makeup and prosthetics on their face. Like Linnea Quigley had some crazy teeth sometimes and contacts. And then you'd have like some other people throughout the film that just had like white powder on their face with like dark shadows around their eyes. And these were all supposed to be like the same kind of demon, but none of them like looked the same.
I didn't like Judy's character. I didn't like how she delivered her lines. There was no emotion.
We gotta try. There's no other way out.
Whether you're happy, whether you're sad, whether you're scared, the tone was all the same.
Water.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be our main character. I couldn't get behind her, but she did have bodacious boobies.
Wow, bodacious boobies, sis. If you keep on going, you'll have to hire someone just to tie your shoes.
Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. Night of the Demons is a classic 80s cheese fest, and it was nice to revisit it. We had really hilarious characters, we had lots of classic 80s boobs, and we had cheesy ass demons that you couldn't help but laugh at. And it was genuinely scary at times, despite how cheesy it was. Unfortunately, it was really boring towards the back half of the movie as well, when we're left with only a couple characters walking around a house for a long time. So, you know, it drags a bit, but I still really enjoyed myself. So I'm gonna give this 3 Linnea Quigley booty distractions out of 5.
I loved rewatching this movie, and it's been a while, and coming back to see it again, I liked it. But I also realized there's a lot of things I didn't like about it. I didn't really appreciate all the demons, and the film was a lot slower than what I remember. But what I did like about it was the comedy gold. I enjoyed some of our characters. It had the charm of horror films that we sometimes forget about. The only things I didn't like were a few moments with the demons that I thought could have been a little more intense, and the fact that all the good parts were just crammed in the middle. But it's a classic, and it will probably stay that way for a long time. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this 2.5 date of deaths out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, there are links in the description where you can find it. And don't worry guys, we're doing the remake shortly, so stay tuned. Oh, also, if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, stay updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond.